Hello and welcome, my dear skill modelers, to my small hobby YouTube channel. My name is Toma and today we're going to be taking a look at something for the beginner. Hello friends, I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I hope it's not raining, I hope it's sunny, and I hope that you're building as well. A quick update from my side, I'm finally finishing this one off. So it will be probably the next week or the week after that when I'll be releasing the build video for this beauty. There's just a little bit of an accident here, but you know, don't worry about it. Well, like I said in the beginning, we have this, the Antonov An-2. It is a 1/72nd scale model with few parts and a very affordable price point. It is a mid to late 1990s model that is made by Trumpeter, a Chinese company that makes all sorts of models. And in this video, we're going to be opening this box. So why would I recommend this to a beginner? Because it is a unique model, a small model, and it has a low part count and is affordable. What better way to start off this hobby with? But if you are more demanding model builder, then you will have to probably find some detail up parts to make this model a little bit more realistic. It is a 175mm model with a wingspan of 252mm. Price, again, 10 euros. But because you came here to see the model, not me, let's dive into the box. And we start this review by examining the box. The Antonov An-2 Colt Nanchang Y-5. Wow, that's a mouthful. Anyway, the airplane is long 175mm. It has a wingspan of 252mm. It has around 90 parts plus and is a 1/72nd scale model. Model number 1602. Price point around 10 euros depending on where you live. The An-2 prototype first flew as a SKH-1 on August 1947. The An-2 manufacturing facility was built in Kiev, Svietloshino, and Dolgoprudny until the mid-1960s. Production was then transferred to PZL Milek in Poland, who delivered over 12,000 of these airplanes from 1960 forward. Antonov estimates over 1,500 were built in the former USSR, Poland, and China, combined of which over 6,000 still remain in service for civilian purposes. This particular model kit has 4 sprues that contain all the necessary parts to build up this model. While the sprue count is relatively low and the part count also, this being a late 90s model, the model is pretty decent. This model does boast some nice surface detail, although the panel lines are really shallow as seen in these close-up shots. And all the rest of the details on the wing surfaces and on the cockpit and, you know, in general, it's okay, but it's not gonna take your breath away. So if you are the kind of person that's just starting out in this hobby or is wanting to try this hobby, then I would recommend this kit for you without any hesitation at all. Being the kit from the late 90s, it has some disadvantages, and one of these are the attachment points that you see in the screen. They're really thick and really short, so you have to take extra care when you're removing parts from the sprue, especially this propeller. Look at this, in this upper corner. It's basically just one piece, so you know, be careful. Judging by the sprue and the parts, the model is pretty well balanced in terms of parts and what you have to assemble. You also get to build a very rudimentary cockpit for this airplane. While it's not going to win any prizes, there is an effort there so you can hone in your skills with the smaller parts. The challenge here, of course, are going to be removing the parts from the sprue because of the very thick sprue attachment points. And of course, the cockpit is covered with a very tainted glass, which is not very well see-through. Some parts do have some texture to them, but there's far few of them. You also get to build this radial rotary engine, which has some detail, but it's really just very minute, and the attachment points again are gonna hamper you down, especially the one in the middle. The clear parts are nothing very special. I mean, you have windows in the cockpit. See, it has some raised detail. It's okay, but it's pretty matte, and all the others, well, just ordinary, nothing to really boast about. And you can see how well see-through it is. It's really not. So if you make mistakes in the cockpit area, it's okay. You get 2 types of decal sheets, one with Polish and Chinese, and I think the other one is just Chinese. The 2 decal sheets of paper are okay. They're well printed. I mean, you can see clearly the text. There's no offset. It's really good for the period, and for a beginner it's just fantastic. You see that it's very nicely cut, so you shouldn't be having any problems with that whatsoever. The text is nice and bright, it's clear, and there's not many of them, so you don't have to, lose sleep over minute signs on the aircraft. So for those of you who are more detailed oriented, well, find some alternatives. The manual for this particular aircraft is really rudimentary as well. It's an A4 type manual with 8 pages, black and white. It's really super easy to read. Everything is nicely laid out. It's not cluttered. It's really easy to follow. There's not a lot of wiggly lines to confuse you. They have even simplified painting, whereas they give you a description of the paint rather than a letter and a number. The bad thing, of course, is when it comes to the paint scheme itself, it is a black and white manual, so you will have to find yourself a reference photo or just go off from the box art picture one on the front, the civilian Chinese version, or the military version that is depicted on the side of the box. So, in conclusion, this is a very good model for any beginner who wants to try their skills at model building. And that's the model in its entirety. Thank you so very much for watching if you have been. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And of course, commenting down below to let me know what you think about the model. See you soon in the next one. Bye bye. Again. Darling, I will answer, but wait.